Hi, I'm Sandra.
Hi, I'm Triffany, and we're friends. Every time we get together, we have these crazy, awesome insights about manifesting, life, synchronicity.
And one day I said, it's too bad we didn't record this because somebody out there could have benefited from hearing this.
And that's how this began.
We never know what we're going to talk about, but when we do and the magic happens, we want to share it with you.
It's a couple minutes late. That's all right. We're still working out the kinks, and we have no viewers, live viewers anyway, so nobody was kept waiting.
Thank goodness. Thank you for your patience and your grace. How are you? Did you launch your website today?
I launched it, I think, Friday. Yes, on Friday. So when you get a chance, go ahead and check it out and let me know, because a ton of hours went into upgrading a lot of it. So I'm very excited.
That is a huge undertaking, to redoing your website and your brand and everything. I know the last time I did mine, it took months to get it where I needed it to be, where I wanted it to be, with all the bells and whistles and the ease of use and all of that. So I'm excited. You said you were excited about the results. You like it?
Yes, I love it. I love it. And I'm realizing that I love it now, but I'm holding the space for it being better, because when I first had it set up, I thought it was great. And I had no idea that it could be as good as it is now. So I'm feeling a little bit reserved, because I know that who knows, next year I'll be like, oh my God, that what I've accomplished now makes what I've done today look like child's play.
Well, and that's it, isn't it? I mean, it's progress, not perfection, is the mantra I live by. And you're right. Like, it's kind of like, I remember having a discussion with a girlfriend of mine in, like, I don't know, early 20s probably. And we were talking about love and how the very first time you think you're in love, you're just sure this is love. And I don't care how young you think I am. Love is love, and I know love. And then you have that first relationship, and then you go into the next one, you're like, oh, this is love. And it deepens and your awareness broadens. And I've come to find out that that is pretty much the way absolutely everything is. And so much of that is reflected in everything we do, but of course with our business too, where you go, this is great. Okay, I love it. It's my colors. It's my feel. I think it communicates what I want. I'm happy with it. It works. And then you have somebody else come in and go, hey, did you know you could have this? And you go, oh, this is what a good website is, or this is what a good mailing list looks like.
Yes. Yeah. And I think trends have changed also. I mean, if you think back to what websites look like, even 5 years ago, it was a lot more informational and not as flashy. And now there's capabilities for it to be beautiful as well as informational.
Yeah, so, and actually interactive and useful. So if you're going to see anything change in the next year or two, it's probably going to be in the functionality. If you look at, there was a time like, yeah, that it was informational. You go, when is so-and-so open? Where are they located? Boom, done. And now you're, signing up for newsletter lists, you're making appointments, you're, joining groups, you're buying courses. It's all kinds of stuff that so who knows what's coming down the pipe, especially with social media taking off. It wouldn't surprise me at all if we start seeing these little, link-ins and add-ins and community builders and all kinds of stuff that just isn't here yet.
Right. Yeah.
And we'll look back and go, whoa, we thought we had a good website when.
Yes. Well, I kind of empathize with places of business that really do need that kind of flash, like restaurants, people who are in the photography business, things like that, where it really is such a visually dominant medium, where they have to get those colors and the animations and all of that to entice people to come in, maybe videos of what the inside of their restaurants look like, things like that. So kind of glad.
Good food photography.
Right. So I can empathize with them. At least we don't have to go through all of that, right?
Yeah. One headshot from 10 years ago and I'm done. That's not true. Mine are actually pretty recent, but that's what it feels like sometimes. Yeah, really. We're pretty lucky on that front. That's true. What else
Yeah.
is new? What's going on for you? What's happening?
Well, all of the electronics that are just going out on me all of a sudden. It's kind of crazy.
Tell me about that. You texted me. What? Just
I
when you say all of a
feel
sudden,
like,
was it just this weekend or what?
yes, over the past couple of days, the thing you push to open up your car, or what is supposed to unlock your car automatically as you get closer to it. I think the battery has died in that thing. My phone will no longer connect to my Bluetooth headphone. So I can't even speak to anybody because,
Oh
the
no.
mic on my phone is not working. So the way I was able to talk to people was through my Bluetooth, and now it won't recognize my Bluetooth. It recognizes all of my neighbors' Bluetooths, but it can't recognize the one that's right next to it. So there's another electronic that's gone out. I had taken the kids to a church retreat in Estes Park this weekend, and it seems like every time I get away from Denver, I lose internet service on my phone, which is kind of weird. Like what else? Oh, the fire alarm in my daughter's room is like starting to like go out. I'm like, if it's electronic, it seems to be like. And then this morning, internet was kind of like, it took 15 minutes for me to get to a certain page that I needed to get to. And I'm thinking, what is happening around me? Because it's nobody else that all of these electronical glitches are happening to. And I'm like, I'm blaming it on the full moon, but the full moon seems to be affecting me a lot more than anybody else that I know. And it's, and then the hosting of that professional group that I had, I think one of them accidentally took my keys. So I have no keys.
And no keys, like to your house, to anything? Oh no. And nobody's called you and said, hey, I grabbed somebody else's keys?
Exactly. And I'm like, this morning, I had hit my limit and I was flipping out and I was like, what WTF is going on?
Oh no. Was it a huge group? Can you call people back? What is that?
I emailed. Yeah. The first thing I did this morning, and I was like, I know that I keep my keys on a hook, and I know that somebody's purse happened to be right near there. Maybe it fell off the hook and into your purse and you didn't realize it. So please get back to me as soon as possible.
Please look and find my keys. I need my keys.
Because now I'm like digging for spare keys. Luckily, I have a spare car key to take my kids to work, to school.
Well, even those are tricky sometimes because the fob, you need the little like computer.
Yeah, I had 2 fobs. Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they took the fob that didn't work. So luckily the second fob kind of sort of works. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh, you poor thing. I'm so sorry.
It's insane. So all I can imagine or hope for maybe is that a lot of old energy is just getting cleared away and it's temporarily disrupting my life. But that once it's done, things are going to be great.
Yes. That's my vote. Just let it up. For whatever reason this is going on, we're going to just let it move on right on through. It doesn't need to take up residence with us.
Right.
I tell you what you described though, Sandra, has been my entire 2016. It is the weirdest thing. And when it first started happening to me, I texted a friend because she's into astrology and stuff. And I'm like, is Mercury in retrograde or something? Because every time this happens, there's some reason. I go, oh, okay, all right. I don't follow up that stuff, but it seems like it syncs up pretty well with my electronics messing up. And she goes, oh, Triffany, we've got 7 planets in retrograde and they're not going to go direct until September. And I was like, oh boy. So I made the distinction at the time. I'm like, just because that's what's going on doesn't mean it needs to affect my life, right? Like, okay, and my technology can work for me. And it just all year long, it'll start to go. And then I have all of those same kinds of problems. It'll start to go and I'm just like, all right, well, this is my exercise in being patient and trusting, well, how long has my message from, dreams and my subconscious been trust, surrender, trust, surrender. So all year long, I've just been going, okay, well, trust, surrender, let it go. It's going to work out. And, it takes longer than I feel like it should, but it does always work out. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the weirdest thing.
God. Yeah.
I can't explain it. It's frustrating though. It feels like a time suck. It feels like it just is a great big waste of time.
Yes. Yeah. But, on the positive side, the weekend was wonderful, and and the gathering was beautiful, actually. I mean, it was almost
Good.
like being surrounded by sisters, aunts, and cousins, I did a small presentation on the power of gratitude, and then I had, made the turkey and pumpkin pie and cranberry sauce, and everybody brought sides and additional desserts, unfortunately. And so we had a Thanksgiving dinner, and it was wonderful. It was beautiful. It was really beautiful.
Oh, I'm
So,
so glad. That's
yeah,
wonderful.
yeah.
Oh, did you get any feedback from it? Did everybody else? I'm sure everybody had a great time.
Yes, yes. I did get good feedback that this was a much better group, because that one person, this was their second time with the group, and she said that, this group was way different from last month's, that it was a much more, she could connect with the people who came a lot more. So
Good. So what was different? How did the new people find it? And if it's moving in the right direction, what are you doing differently that's working
different
well?
people show up. Different
Okay.
people show up at different meetings. So it just happened to be the dynamic of the people who happen to show up.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a monthly thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Well, good. I'm so glad. You don't host every single month, though, do you?
Oh, no. Once a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So everybody who hosts, do they do a presentation too, or is it just?
They might do a presentation, or they might bring in a speaker. But since I've done so many presentations, and I'm like, I'm going to teach you about the power of now. I mean, not the power of now. I'm thinking Eckhart Tolle at the same time as I'm talking. The power of gratitude.
Yes. Well, they're kind of the same thing. We'll take it. Yep. The more we're present in the now, the more gratitude we feel.
I told them all about this, our Conscious Conversations YouTube presentation. So
good.
Maybe they'll check it out tonight or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. I shared this on my business page last week, so hopefully
I saw it on Facebook, right?
Yes. So we'll see if we can get some buzz. I'll put it in my newsletter this month, and I don't know. We'll see what happens. I just enjoy talking to you, so whatever comes out of it is
exactly
gravy.
Exactly. Yeah, the best things grow organically anyway.
That's exactly right. That's it.
What about you? How was your weekend? What'd you do?
Oh, let's see. I had a really good weekend. So I had the workshop on Saturday morning, and it went really, really well. Got incredible feedback this time. And in fact, the organizer of the whole thing wants to give me some more time slots for 2017. So that is really cool. Yes, it's very cool. And got a new client out of it. And it was it's really neat to see people, because just to remind you what the group was, it's that divorce workshop where women who are contemplating or going through divorce and just need to know what not to do, what to do, what to expect, that kind of thing. And it's resources of basically all the things you don't know to ask when you're going through a divorce, right? So
yeah, especially if you don't you have friends who've also gone through it, who can help you get around the pitfalls.
Exactly. Because and pitfalls is you're navigating this whole, minefield of craziness. So it's really neat to watch a shift happen when people walk in the morning and feel, oh, I'm going through divorce, or I'm thinking about divorce, I don't even know where to start. It's this sense of overwhelm, and then to watch them transform into, oh, I have a question, then now what if? And you can see as they leave, they've got their notebooks, they've taken copious notes, and they feel better, hopeful. They feel like there's a direction, like it's something that they either can do or they can do without a lot of mistakes. Sometimes people leave and go, you know what? I don't want to get divorced anymore. I think it's worth it to make this work. And I just love watching that transformation happen, and that's the best thing out of those. And then, Saturday night, I told you about those, that friend of mine that invited me to that group of gals. and she met this gal at Vitamin Cottage. This gal invited her, she invited me. And the context was, let's get together, let's get like minds together and see what comes of our conversation. Well, it ended up just being the three of us. And I asked her if I could invite people, and she said, absolutely. So if we ever do this again, I'll make sure to invite you, because it was conversations like you and I have, I think kind of more on a rudimental rudimentary level, which is fine. It's good. But really nice. I mean, it gives me hope. You know, when I start seeing people start to have these conversations, and I see people start looking at not what can I change in the outside world, what needs to change inside of me. When I really look at that happen, I don't care what stage of it they're in, I get hopeful. You know what I mean? Like, I go, okay, the world is actually going to be okay, because not only are there so many more.
Especially with the conditions it's in right now. Jesus.
Oh my gosh. I was grieving
Uh-oh, you cut out.
am grieving, but
you cut out for a few seconds. I didn't hear anything you said after I'm grieving.
Oh, I don't know about you, and you and I, interestingly enough, have never talked politics, but I did a video on my scope last week, made a fool of myself, ugly cried on screen. Like, it's
whoa.
I am a mess after this. I really, and you know me, I don't get upset by anything. So the fact that this hit me so hard really showed me that I have, again, it's that faith, trust, surrender piece. You know, can you, when you know, and you know this more than most, better than most, when we are progressing, when we're evolving as individuals, we do these huge leaps forward. And then there's this like backtrack a little bit. We forget, we lose our good routine, we stop taking care of ourselves, whatever that thing is we're trying to move and grow and shift, we have that pullback. And I know we do that as a collective too. And I'm watching this go on. I'm watching this consciousness shift, and I'm watching us evolve as a human race. And we were due for a pullback, and I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to envision it, and I really didn't want it to happen. It's that whole, you know, with grace and ease part. Can we just keep moving and with grace and ease? And I feel like we lost that grace and ease part. And it was really hard for me to not get stuck in the whole, no, we're not devolving, we're evolving. Like, you people have really screwed this up. Like, I was so upset.
Yeah. But well, I'm hoping it's like you said, it's just like, you know, like a slingshot. You know, you kind of have to pull back a little bit in order to move forward faster. So, you know, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that that the racial tensions don't get too out of hand. My worst fear is that you know, what my worst fear that I hope to God does not, is just a fear and nothing, you know, predictive of anything, is all I could just keep thinking about is, you know, Hitler wanted Germany to be great again too.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Oh,
so
yeah.
Some people could misunderstand what that means and take it to an extreme. You know, everybody in the United States wants America to be great.
Yeah.
But not in a way that we end up recreating World War II again.
No, and not in a way that tramples or impedes anybody's basic human rights. And I think that was, you know, it was that piece of it that made me feel like, you know, no, we're not allowed to devolve. You know, like, we don't get to go backwards. And I like the analogy you use with the slingshot. I'm hopeful, and I really do believe that that's just, look, we were only ever going to, it's just like with your subconscious beliefs, right? You're only ever going to get as far as what you know and as what you can understand, because you've got these underpinnings that you're not aware of that are sort of running the show. Well, if we had these racial bigoted underpinnings that we weren't aware of, there was no way in hell we were ever going to heal them. There was no way in hell we were ever going to
That's
move
true.
beyond.
A lot of it went underground when President Obama became president.
Yep.
A lot of it went underground. A lot of people didn't feel like they could, you know, express their true feelings. And certainly people now have quite a leeway to express their true feelings.
Yeah, they feel like they've got permit. And what happened is, right, they went underground. They called it politically correct instead of looking at themselves going, do I have something to examine? Can a Black man be accomplished and smart and a constitutional lawyer and capable? Instead of looking at it that way, they went, oh, well, now you just can't say what the truth is. I was thinking it. Now I can't say it, right? Like, so they've been stewing in this resentment and this ugliness for at least 8 years, probably longer, because we were moving in that direction for so long. And we just pulled the pin out of that grenade.
Yeah.
All of that resentment's got to go somewhere. I know 2 days after the election results were, so the 10th and the 11th, 3 different friends of mine were racially profiled and attacked, none of them physically. Just by walking around or driving. One of them, my friend was really scared. The guy reached into her car and tried to unlock her car and
oh my God.
And this is in Colorado. We're not in New York. We're not in these, big places where the tensions are really, really high. And it breaks.
Yeah, that's the part that I'm most worried about.
My heart anyway. All of
Oh no. I hope this is not my fault.
with the conversation.
The whole
What's
electronic glitches. Oh, you cut out for a while there, and I was like, oh my God, the electronic glitches are affecting Triffany's.
Oh no! Where did it cut out?
It cut out after you'd said that the man almost tried to reach in and open up her car door, and I started to say, that's one of my greatest fears, is that we're going to devolve into senseless violence.
Yeah, senseless and fearful. And that fear is that it's primal, it's primitive, and it'll do anything it feels is okay. It feels justified. That fear makes everything else feel justified. And I'm afraid for my friends, my minority friends. I had a friend ask me, have you noticed the difference? I'm like, I look white. Nobody knows I'm Mexican unless I tell them I'm Mexican. So I
keep
live
forgetting.
You can't tell. I think it's the green eyes, but I don't live with it. I don't wear it, so I have a certain level of privilege that I am not even privy to. And I'm watching this happen in this shift with my friends and my family. And I'm looking for those sparks of hope, and having conversations like this with you, with those gals, those 2 new friends on Saturday. It gives me hope that, yes, it's scary that all of this ugliness has been revealed. Yes, it's true. If it needs to be healed, it has to first be revealed. So that in and of itself is progress. And most importantly, there are so many more people taking this journey that you and I are on and in cahoots about and working toward and bringing tools to the masses than we even know about. And, they're all in different stages, but they all come with the same heart. And I think that heart is to really make long-lasting human evolutionary changes to the planet. And I really needed that. I really needed that on Saturday after such a dark few days.
Oh yeah, definitely. I remember my meditation group on Friday morning, and I had to kind of take it to a little bit of a different course because people were still kind of numb and in shock. And so I was like, we're going to do a meditation and just make it heart-centered, and we'll resume our regular enlightenment meditation next Friday.
Good for you. Way to be present to the needs of the group. I love that you do that you're able to give up whatever agenda would be normally in place and meet whoever's in your circle right where they are. I think even that in and of itself has to help them feel seen and heard and understood and embraced. I'm glad you did that. Was it a good meditation?
Yes. I think everybody was glad that they came. The ones who came were glad that they came, and that we shifted our topic a little bit to, to doing that, because it helped them to, you know, do the more heart-centered. And then also, you know, we kind of hope that the heart energy kind of went to our community as well.
Yeah. And it does. It always does. I mean, gosh, you know, I think that I do believe it happens in the intangible ways, in the ways that we can't see. But even if you didn't believe in all of that, anybody who's going to go out into their community more calm, cool, and collected is going to have an impact on helping other people become calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah. Well, you know, what's interesting, the shift that I've seen with me, and, you know, and I really don't talk to strangers very much. It's just a New Yorker in me. You know, you don't talk to strangers. You just leave, let them be in their own, you know, let them go their own way. You go your own way. We're all busy. We got stuff to do. But I find myself when I go to the supermarket now, talking to other people, because I almost feel like, and maybe this is just my own stuff, like I feel like I need to represent a different image of minorities to people. Like, we're friendly, we're normal, we're just as smart as you guys are, we're not scary. You know, so I like find myself like, you know, having conversations with other mothers and like, oh, how cute, I remember my kids were that young, and it's kind of and I almost, you know, am observing myself being more out there and trying to like connect with people and being like, no matter how you voted, you know, we're all people.
I love that. And if you think about that, like, my first thought was, oh,
you froze again.
Come back. I can't even imagine feeling that depth of responsibility.
No, yeah, you cut out for a few seconds.
Oh shoot, where did I cut out?
Say it again.
Well, my first thought was, what a huge burden to take on, to feel like you have to be an ambassador for an entire race of people on this planet.
Yeah.
And how gracious of you to take that on. And then I started thinking, as you were talking about it, remember last week you were saying that even doing something like this very publicly is helping you get out of your shell. So then I got this like little spark of hope, and like, well, maybe your agreement to sort of be this ambassador to the general public is also helping you serve your greater good of learning how to share of yourself and connect in that way. That's not the strict clinician, but is, you know, hey, I'm a human being with hopes and dreams and loves and desires, and right? You know, that you don't have to be this separate thing in people's minds or in their view. But good for you. I just, wow, I can't even see, that is a piece of my privilege that I've never had to think about. I've never had to think about whether or not, actually, that's not true. I have thought about it, but not in that way, because every time I have to fill out one of those demographic things, you know, you fill out your race and your income of some federal form or whatever, I'm always like, yeah, you go ahead and have your stereotypes about Mexicans. I'm going to fill out this form and I'm going to change your, knowing damn good well I'm not changing anybody's mind. So I guess I have had that thought, but, you know, I haven't had to think about it every single day. And, you know, you brought it up. It wasn't on one of these. I think it was at one of our lunches when you were talking about a piece of your personal history in business, where you were afraid that while you were showing up really well in your job, there was still a certain kind of criticism around what anybody else would have called professionalism. But you felt marked as like the angry Black woman because you were very like get down to business.
Yeah. It was like, here I am doing an exceptional job. No one can complain about the job that I was doing. In fact, I exceeded their expectations. And yet, because I wasn't chit-chatting around, which I feel like is, you know, wasting company time. Yeah, exactly. That stereotype comes up. And lo and behold, you know, I start being like everybody else, sitting around, taking, you know, chit-chatting while in my head, I feel like I should be working. Everything calms down. Everything's great.
Isn't that crazy? And then you think like that actually puts you out of integrity. That is not the value you wanted to bring to your workplace. You didn't want to bring water cooler talk to your workplace. You wanted to bring your expertise and your professionalism and your get it done attitude. And that's kind of sad that you had to step out of integrity a little bit in order to create an environment that put everybody else at ease when nobody was.
Right, because image was what was dominant. It's
Yeah.
like, it's all about the image. And, if you don't cater to people's image, then they just rely on their stereotypes.
Oh, and perception is everything. Perception is absolutely everything. I mean, if you look at the statistics of mass death type crimes, it's white Christian men. And I'm not trying to say anything contentious here. I'm not trying to like blow up in the internet. If you look at the statistics, our biggest threat is white Christian men.
Mm-hmm.
But our perception is something else entirely. And people will react on that emotional attachment to that perception every single time. But I do think we're getting better. Do you think we're getting better? I mean, even with the election stuff that has gone.
No, I don't know, because he's not in office yet.
Yeah.
So
I don't think I mean, long view. I hope I'm wrong. I really want to be wrong. I feel like these next 4 years are going to be a very painful reveal. And that makes me sad. I also feel like what has been happening in secret after these next 4 years can't happen again. It's like we all know now. We know where those people are. We know what they think. We know how they operate. We know where they hang out. And there's going to come a time when the generation gap that has been able to hold this archaic, divisive ideology almost in place, I think we're going to grow past that as more and more millennials can vote and they set the culture. And, I do believe it's changing. I don't know that these next 4 years are going to be a comfortable part of that change.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I know. I mean, yeah, it is. I don't know. So much processing that needs to be done for like everybody, I mean, I feel sad for myself that, over the weekend, my friend and I, she was on the church retreat with us, and she's invited us. And we took the kids to the pool, and my son had a nosebleed, and the lifeguards, were quick to help him, gave him, not even tissues, but towels, white towels to, put on his nose. And my reaction was like, I was surprised that they would help us. How sad is that? That's
awful. Yeah. You would want to believe that people would help you.
Yeah. But now, ever since this happened, I'm just kind of like, I expect people to be more open with, their true feelings. And so now, I felt sad for myself that, I actually don't expect to be treated fairly anymore. And that I was kind of surprised that my son was being helped and that he wasn't being ignored.
That makes me sad for all of you guys. All three of you. That just makes me sad. But you look at the environment that you put them in, with the international influences and really a conscious attention to inclusivity at the school that they go to and the community you live in. I think a lot of our job and responsibility and honor really in our role as a parent is to help interpret and frame the life experience that comes in. So yes, there's always going to be a pain. We cannot avoid pain, and we get to frame it. So is there going to be a cultural shift that people will stop helping? Maybe. I really hope not, but probably there is going to be. And there's going to be people like you that are stepping up even more than they ever have. There are going to be people like you that go, okay, I'm going to be a lot more conscious about having conversations with strangers, about being inclusive, about saying thank you when somebody helps, about, all of these other things that we were sort of taking for granted before, that if we start bringing that level of conscious attention to everything we do now, I don't know, maybe that'll be the thing that shuts all of this down before it can really get started. I hope.
Yeah, I'm with you in that hope.
Oh, man. I'm scared. I'm still grieving, and I know that I haven't processed it all, but that fear piece of my grieving process, it's big. It's a big one. And I don't even have to be scared for me. But I actually even said to my son as he was leaving the other day to go check on his car because they're finishing up at the body shop. And I've seen I've had conversations with some of those guys. I don't look Mexican, so I hear all of the racist shit that people say. And because they think I'm safe. They think they can say it. And there was a guy there that I had to kindly and graciously correct on some of his assumptions. And knowing my son was going to go there on his own, I actually said to him out loud, I am so glad you are white and male and I don't have to worry about you at the body shop today. I actually said that out loud. So I guess I missed my opportunity to frame it as a parent. But that was my moment of gratitude. Like, that's a privilege that I have. And now my daughter, young, beautiful girl, feminine woman, she's at risk now. Like, it's just crazy tug of war on my heart as we learn to adapt to this. I'm treating it like a traumatic, it feels like trauma to me. It's a post-Trump world now. And this changes the game in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I mean, it just calls for everyone who is conscious and does any kind of, healing work with others, whether it's energy healing or emotional healing, to just let's take this, like you said. I mean, it takes everything out in the open now. It's like nothing is hidden, everything's uncovered, and you're right, nothing's going to get healed unless it gets uncovered first. So let's hope for the healing with ease and grace.
Yes, as my good friend Sandra says. Well, please can we have that grace and ease? Please can we have it? And you're right. And I do see more and more people stepping up. There's a whole new movement now called Pantsuit Nation. Have you heard about it? It's and I don't totally know what it is yet. I joined my South Metro chapter. You're welcome to come on Thursday if you want to come. I know it's kind of a drive for you, but you're welcome to come. I don't totally know what it is yet, but it's a lot of people coming together saying, we can do better. We want to know how to move forward from this, so let's move forward together. And I haven't seen that kind of galvanizing around these ideas that you and I are talking about, so it doesn't even have to be like woo-woo metaphysical quantum physics type stuff. These are hearts that go, this can't happen again. I don't know what this means for me, but I can't stand by anymore and be quiet. I can't stand by anymore and just hope for the best. I realize now this takes my participation. And I think those people are coming into these groups, and I'm going on Thursday night. I'll let you know how it goes and see if there's we'll see what comes of it, but I'm seeing stuff like that, and that really gives me a lot of hope that the grace and ease part is possible, because more and more people who, while it was hidden, we could kind of rest on our laurels, couldn't we? Yeah. I mean, we could kind of sit back and go, no, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. And when everybody knew there was still work to do, but we didn't really have a reason to team up and make it happen. And boy, we have a reason now. We have a reason now. So I'll keep you posted and let you know how that goes.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Cool.
I'm sure there's a chapter in your area. There's got to be. They're all over. It started out as Pantsuit Nation Colorado, and then there was a Front Range and a Back Range group, so like Grand Junction area, and then it was Denver, and then it's getting so big so fast that it's actually like chunking up into communities. So if you look at Pantsuit Nation, awesome. There might be one in your area. Yeah.
Right. Cool.
That way you wouldn't have to drive. So what else? What else is going on for you?
That's about it. I guess the biggest thing is, the massive upgrades on my website. I don't think there's a single page that didn't undergo a massive upgrade in terms of look, feel, ease of use, etc. So I'm now like taking a breather. And I'm going to be working on a video, like a presentation video on sleep. And I think I'm going to be titling it, How Sleep Can Make You, what's my title? I have my notes. I have my notes right here. How Sleep Keeps You Young, Thin, and Beautiful.
I love it. Oh, that'll be so good.
Yeah. Which it does, but you know, because I've been so frustrated by how people underrate the importance of sleep, and they have these symptoms that have become so common they equate it with being normal, and I'm like, no, common and normal are two different things. Just because it's common to, you know, need coffee to wake up in the morning doesn't make that normal. You shouldn't need coffee in the morning. Coffee should be something you enjoy having, but not something that you absolutely need. You can't function without. That's called a drug.
Right. That's an
addiction. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And we just get so, it's the boiling frog, right? Like you just get so used to it. You don't even notice that you become reliant on stimulants or whatever. And sleep's a huge, and we've gotten to a point where, you know, we almost idolize being busy. And people have a hard time admitting that they've got balance or that they've got ease or they've created a life that includes enough sleep, enough food, enough time, enough rest, because then there's this cultural belief that, well, then you must not be working hard enough, or you must not live a passionate life, or you must not. We worship busy right now, and that is coming at the expense of our physical health in the form of sleep is one piece, nutrition is another, stress. Yeah, that's going to be good. What are you going to do? Is it going to be like an exercise? What's the video going to be?
Actually, it's just going to be informing people. I don't think people realize how sleep is tied to weight gain, how sleep is tied to your skin pallor and the accumulation of toxins and how fast you age. I mean, people think that, oh, Black people, you know, don't get wrinkles just because we're Black. No, there's a lot that goes into it. You know, I mean, yes, we have a little bit more sun protection, that helps, but you know, so it's about how sleep, when you're sleeping, what happens in the process of sleeping that contributes to keeping your weight down, to having your skin be radiant, no matter what color it is, having the, you know, the whites of your eyes be cleared out, how your brain can only detox during sleep, and so you are much more of a clearer thinking when you've gotten enough sleep. So I mean, people make fun of me because I'm like, no, I'm going to bed, or I put my kids to bed, you know, because a lot of people will keep their kids up to like party and do stuff with them, and don't realize that even more important than us is for our kids who are still developing, how important it is to stick to that schedule as much as possible. I mean, sure, summer times, holidays, vacations, there's a little bit of leeway, but people don't even go a little bit of leeway. They just throw their hands up and just let it go completely and be like, oh, you know, they'll get a nap or they'll catch up when we get home. And for me, even on vacations and holidays and summer, I don't veer that much from my kids' sleep schedule, because I'm like, I don't care. This is why my kids, you know, I don't have to repeat myself all the time with my kids. You know, I mean, their emotional control is pretty good. You know, a lot of these things that, you know, go into being able to reduce the effects of stress, it's all connected to sleep. Sleep is an integral part of all of it. I mean, this is why even when we're living in caves with no doors, no alarms, a wild tiger could have come in at any moment, we still spent a third of our lives asleep and vulnerable.
Yeah, all of those things are so true.
Yeah,
they're absolutely
you see, I'm totally passionate about
I love it. But you know what, people need to see that passion around something that is so important. You know, information is one of the things you didn't mention, but I know that it's going to be probably part of the video, because one of the benefits is that moving from short-term memory to long-term memory, and we've got information coming at us constantly now. If we don't give our brains that chance to figure out what's important, throw that out, or what's not important, throw that out, what is important, move it around. If we don't get that, then we're in this constant state of like, I have to remember this, and that's just in the brain. That's not even including the crazy schedule of driving here, driving there, trying to take care of things. So I think it's super smart and really responsible of you to be good about your sleep and your kids' sleep, especially while their brains are growing, especially while your business is growing. Like, you're managing all of these changes and you're growing everything out. Of course, you want to do that in the way that's most healthy for you guys. I think that's great. People need to hear that. How are you going to promote it?
I hadn't gone that far yet.
Okay. Progress, not perfection. Well, let me know when it's done, and I'll let people know, at least on my network.
Thanks. How about you? What's on the agenda for you?
Oh my gosh. So this week I am still working out that glitch with the Passion on Purpose email. I may end up just leaving it the way it is. So what I initially wanted was for each day's thought prompt to have a separate comment, and I have it all set up so that each month has all of the thought prompts comment for each thought prompt. Well, when you fill out one comment, it fills them all out. So
And the Facebook commenting app or widget didn't work?
It didn't work. All it did was if you comment, it shares on your Facebook that you commented on this thing, which I still think is a smart idea, but I didn't want to add that in case it would interfere with whatever fix might work. But I don't think it's coding, and I'm not a coder, and the guy that's helping me with it isn't a coder, and it might be something down the line I can do. But so anyway, I'm going to take one more stab at it this week, see what else I can do with it. But at this point, it's a progress, not perfection kind of thing. The prompts are amazing. I'm getting really good feedback on it. People are they're like, I never thought about it this way. This was so cool. I just had this conversation that I never would have had without these. So the impact is there, even though the tool itself is less than optimal in my mind. Like, that's just the way I perceive it. If I had never said anything or set it up that way, people might not have ever even missed it or, wanted it. So, but I'm going to take one more stab at it, see if I can fix it. If that doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. I'm working with a graphic artist this week for my book to get the graphic art both on the cover and the graphics going on the inside the way that I want those to be. And then I'm working on the pilot stuff, that video. I get to, now that this Passion on Purpose stuff is wrapping up, I get to go back to the not the pilot, the pitch video for the talk show. Yes. So
good. Yay.
I think I found
I want to be able to just watch Chelsea and then the Triffany show on Netflix.
Yay. Yeah, just line those up back to back. We'll have a couple really good TV shows going on. So yeah, we'll see. And that's something that's been on the back burner since this launch of this other thing. And I'm looking forward to picking that up again. It's actually kind of driven me a little crazy that it's been sitting there and hasn't had forward movement. So yeah, that's what I'm working on this week.
Cool,
So,
man.
Yeah.
All right, my dear. We are at the top of the hour.
All right. Well, thanks for another great day, another great conversation. I love that I get to see you weekly now. That's nice.
I know. Me too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good. Well, give yourself a great big hug.
Oh, no. You froze again.
Next week. Hello?
Yes. There you are. Yes. Same to you. Give everybody a big old hug and a kiss from me. Tell them, I love them and I'm here for them whenever they need anything.
I will. Likewise to you and yours.
Bye.
Bye. Love you.
Love you too.